In this lesson, we will exercise another important agreement, the agreement between adjective and the gender and the number of the noun. So basically, how do we need to change adjective, the ending of an adjective, if we describe masculine, feminine, neutral, and the plural of a noun? What is important for you to know? I hope you remember the grammatical lessons about the agreement between adjective and the noun. It was not a rocket science, so you could understand, well, this ending is supposed to be changed to this ending to describe a masculine, feminine, or a plural of a noun. However, it was surely difficult to choose the right ending, to change. Basically because there are so many kind of exceptions or modifications of the rule. In this lesson I will give you the patterns, what to do, and I will give you a small shortcut. A shortcut from the point of view of a teacher, it is surely not an optimal one. Because it will tell you, if you understand the pattern, basically use one of the endings without thinking which one to take. Basically choose the one you like the most and change the adjective accordingly. So basically if you know the gender of a noun, just pick one of the endings. Why am I telling you this? Basically because all of the endings sounds more or less the same, so people will understand you. As the teacher, surely it would be a horrible mistake for me to do this in the university, for example, because with the next exam, once you write wrong endings, people understand that I'm a bad teacher. I couldn't really explain you which ending to choose. However, I want you to speak Russian, and for speaking Russian, it's not really important to put the right ending. It's more important to put the right logic behind the ending. So once you use the right pattern, the right ending for a particular gender on the adjective, and people will understand you, I feel that I'm successful in this point. So let's work on this and let's try to listen to the melody of a Russian language. And many foreigners tell that they can hear it. And basically hearing this melody of the Russian language does not really help you to understand which ending to put, but it helps you to advance in the feeling how to approach the language. So basically, if you got a particular ending on a noun, well, why wouldn't I take the special ending on an adjective? Because it sounds simply better for me. And usually you will make a correct choice in this case. So let's start with few nouns in different genders. Let's take город. Город is city. Город. Город, with the emphasis falling on the first O. Город. Ending in the, meaning it is masculine. Город. Школа. Школа. Школа is school. Ending in A, meaning it is feminine. Школа, with the emphasis falling on O. Школа. Здание. Здание is building. Здание. Здание means building. With the emphasis on A, we got ending ye, meaning it is neutral. And let's take the plural word. It will be цветы, flowers. Цветы, цветы, plural. Flower, flowers, цветы, flowers. Comes from the word цвет. Цвет is color. Цветы, flowers. Let's describe our city, school, building, and flowers. First one, let's take new. New, if you take a look in the dictionary, it is новый. And the dictionary form of adjective describes always masculine words. So, новый, новый. Новый город. Новый, it is masculine adjective. It describes masculine word. Новый город. What happens with feminine word, with feminine noun? We need to replace «ый» with «ая». Новая школа. Новая. Новая школа. And for здание, for neutral word, И becomes ое, новое. Новое, новое здание. And for plural it becomes новые. Новые, новые цветы, новое здание, новая школа. And here we got a general pattern. И for feminine, we need to change the ending of adjective to ая, for neutral to ое, and for plural in ые. Sure, we'll have different endings, so it's not such a general one. We'll have 3 more possibilities for endings. However, you will hear that the endings are sounding more or less equal. So let's exercise. Because we got новый, new, let's take старый, old. Старый, старый. Старый город. Старый comes from dictionary, means old, it describes masculine noun. Use this pattern to make old school, to describe school as old. We replace и with ая, and we are getting старая школа. Старая школа, старая школа. Здание. Again, we need to change our adjective. We replace и with ое. Старое здание. Старое. И is replaced with ое. Старое. Старое здание. And for plural, old flowers, we replace и with ие. Старые цветы. Старые. Старые цветы. Old flowers. Красивый. Beautiful. Красивый. Красивый. How would we describe our school? Again, we got a noun. We got adjective ending in и. How will we say beautiful school? We need to replace и with ая. Красивая школа. Красивая школа. For neutral, красивое здание. We replace и with ое. Красивое здание. And for plural, красивые цветы. Красивое здание. Красивые цветы. Красивые. Красивое здание, красивые цветы. The adjective changes accordingly to the gender and the number of the noun. What would be another example for adjectives? I won't really write for you endings anymore because they are repetitive. We will look at different kind of endings. But for you to make some exercises, I will give you words for exercising. Basically, I will prepare them for you here, the exercises. Let's take черный. Черный, black. Again, we got ending и. Черный. Черный город, black city. Черный. What would you do if you want to describe school? Let's assume you got a black school. How would you say black school? We need to replace и with ая. Черная школа. Черные здания. Черные цветы. Black flowers. Белый. Белый is white. Белый. Белый is white. Белый город. Белая школа. Белое здание. Белые цветы. Exercise it for yourself. Write down. Take different nouns. Try to recognize the gender of nouns and try to modify the adjectives. It is a good example, it is a good exercise, and it is very important. Especially to adjust adjective to the gender and to the number of a noun, it's not very difficult. However, you still need to make different steps And it's better to have the steps automatized in your head. So you put them more or less intuitively without thinking a lot about this. Because in Russian sentence there are lots of agreements, and some of the agreements are kind of challenging, and it's better to point your attention and focus your power on working on these agreements, and not to spend too much time on adjective agreements, for example. Now let's work on another adjective with a different ending. Свежий. Свежий. So we got свежий with the emphasis on ye. Свежий means fresh, свежий, fresh. And you can see is replaced with и. Свежий, красивый was ending with и. What will happen with these endings? You already hear that и and и, they sound more or less the same. So, свежая школа. Свежая школа doesn't have much meaning. However, let's work on this. Let's assume we get a fresh school. So, we replace и with ая. Свежая. Свежая. Свежий becomes свежая. But for neutral, we already need to change the ending. And the ending becomes ее. Свежее. Свежее здание. Свежее здание. Okay, fresh does not really help us much. Let's say свежее молоко. Молоко is milk. Свежее молоко. What is happening here? Свежее. What could happen here and what is happening here? Well, we got ending oye, which would be the ending we would follow accordingly to the pattern with и. And what will happen with свежее? It would become свежее. Свежее sounds wrong, however, fully understandable. People will understand you and you don't need to worry about this. So Russian language is not that difficult. Many people say there are so many different combinations, and if you start studying Russian language, you're feeling kind of lost in all of the endings. However, if you understand the pattern and you use a different ending within the pattern, within the rule, but at the right place, it is fine because people understand you. So, свежее здание, or свежее здание, or свежее молоко, it's fine. The ending is still fine if you put the wrong one with oye. And what becomes with plural? Красивые. What will happen with свежий? Свежие. Свежие. The и ending becomes ие. Свежие. And свежие even sounds like ие. And it is for a good reason, because you remember after sh, and seven letters, the 7-letter rule, we need to write i. So for speaking rule, more or less, people won't even realize that you're making a mistake. It's only for writing that where people might figure out, well, you are misunderstanding something with the rule. However, for speaking and for making yourself understood, it is absolutely fine. And another example for this would be, let's make an example because it is important. Хороший. Хороший means nice. Хороший. 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 Can you hear? It almost sounds like и. Хороший. And that's for a good reason. It is pronounced хороший with и and not и. However, there is и in the ending because it follows sh. And according to 7-letter rule, after sh, we need to write i. What happens if we describe our school as a good school? Хорошая школа. The ending i is following the general rule with ая. Хорошая. Хорошая. Хорошая школа. Building. Good building. How will we say good building? We would need to replace ending и with ее. Хорошее. Хорошее. Хорошее здание. If we would use ое or и, хорошее здание, people will understand you, don't worry about this. And now let's describe flowers as good flowers. We would say хорошие. Хорошие. Хорошие цветы. So in the case of neutral, in the case of plural, свежие цветы, хорошие цветы, in the pronunciation, it's not a problem. It's only for writing, where you can make a mistake between ые and ие. Let's continue with another word, with another adjective and another ending. And again, this ending will make us troubles only in the neutral, because the ending will change. In the plural and feminine, it won't be a big trouble. In plural, the ending will change. However, it will sound more or less the same as the examples, as previous examples. And the masculine, well, it's not a problem once you understand and know the adjective. You already know how to describe a masculine word. So the adjective would be маленький, means small. Маленький. Маленький. I'm not connecting the soft sign and ka here. Why am I not doing this? Because usually if I'm connecting soft sign and ka, it looks like like another letter. And I already made this mistake of connecting it this way. And some people wrote me in the comment section, well, in Russia, if you connect words, they look kind of weird. However, you have to learn to read them. You have to learn to guess what is written. It is important, especially if you want to understand what you wrote. Once you start writing much faster, you will get some special connections which might mislead you. But for this, you need to remember what was you writing and what is the meaning of the word or the sentence you are writing. So, маленький. What's happening with feminine? Маленький will take the general form, the general ending, маленькая. Again, we got the ending aya. I will just leave space here because маленький is kind of a long word. So, и is changing to aya, маленькая. What happens with the neutral? In neutral, it is different. Here, we need to change it to ое. So the ending is changing to ое. Маленький, маленькое. Маленькое. So the ending becomes ое. Ое, ее, ое. So basically ое. The ending ое. And you see the sound is more or less the same. So let's assume you will put ее, which I assume won't happen because ое is more frequent ending. It's rather you might make a mistake of putting ое in the word which is supposed to end in ее. However, if you would say маленькое здание, small building, it does not even sound. You cannot even do this. So this is where this vocal harmony or vocal coordination comes to. So if you need to describe здание, you will never say маленькое because it doesn't sound well. It is маленькое. Маленькое здание, small building. Let's do the plural. What would be the plural of маленький? Маленькие. Маленькие цветы. Маленькие. Маленькие. Маленькие цветы. The ending ие repeats as in the previous example. If we would put ие, маленькие, absolutely fine, people will understand you. If you write it, then it is considered to be a mistake. However, for speaking, it's absolutely fine. So, маленький город, маленькая школа, маленькое здание, маленькие цветы, small flowers. Another example from the same category would be высокий, tall. Высокий. Высокий. Высокий is tall or high. So, высокий город. High city or tall city. Doesn't sound well, does not make much logic. Does not make much sense. However, let's describe city as tall city or high city. Высокий город. What happens with school? How would we say tall school? Again, we take the ending ая. Высокая школа. How would we describe здание? Высокое здание. We're taking ое. Высокое здание. And how would we say tall flowers? Высокие. Высокие. Высокие цветы. So, высокая школа, высокое здание, высокие цветы. And if we would use ые, absolutely fine, from the sound does not change anything. And again, if we would try to use ending еє, it wouldn't sound like nothing. It will be a tongue breaker. You won't be able to pronounce it the proper way. Плохой. Плохой means bad. Плохой. Плохой. Плохой means bad. What happens with the ending ой if we would describe school as bad? Плохая школа. Плохая школа. Building. Плохое здание. Flowers. Плохие цветы. Плохая школа, плохое здание, плохие цветы. And the last example. Большой. 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 Again, I'm not putting a connection between soft sign and sha, because then it starts looking like an ы. What happens in feminine if I want to say big school? Большой is big. Большой город, big city. Большая школа. Большое здание. And большие цветы. Big flowers. So we repeat the ending because the ending of original, the adjective which describes the masculine word, ending in ой. And try to remember this pattern. Feminine, ending ая. Neutral, ое. Plural, ие. Большая школа, большое здание, большие цветы. Плохая школа, bad school. Плохое здание, bad building. Bad flowers, плохие цветы. What do you need to know here? Even though the endings might differ, ое, еє, and again ое, or here ые and ие, it's absolutely fine if you make a mistake here, because people will understand you.